Hello, my name's Shelley Rose. I'm here this evening with Simon Deacon in Markyate Village Hall. Simon Deacon is the parish councillor for Markyate. As you are aware, we've just had a general election on the 6th of May this year. Simon, how do you think we fared in that election?
Well, first of all, there was some silly predictions, I thought, but still, we should have done it a lot better than we did. And I have to say, I don't want to be too negative, but I was bitterly disappointed. I think our performance could have been better. I think there's quite a number of factors that affected our vote. I'm not saying it would have gone up a massive amount, but it certainly could have saved us a lot more deposits. I think one of the main issues is, I've been in nationalism a long time now, and we've been, the one thing we've always wanted is mainstream publicity. It was laid on for us. There was quite a few political chat shows with heavyweight politicians on them where the British National Party were invited, and I just could not believe we refused to go on them.
Since the election, obviously we didn't do as well as we hoped, and there has been quite a few questions raised about the leadership of the British National Party. What's your current opinions on the leadership, and where did we go wrong, and what do you think we could do better?
Well, I'm going to be quite frank. I think Nick Griffin has put everything he's had into this party, and he's done a very good job, but nothing in this world is forever. Nothing. Not the BNP, not England, not anything. And I'm going to disagree with a lot of people in the BNP where I actually think question time damaged us. I'm sorry, a lot of people think we got the sympathetic vote. We all know what happened amongst ourselves. We realise Nick was set up, but the public, they don't. There was 8 million people watching that programme. They were waiting for a hero. They were waiting for somebody to come and save them. They were waiting for somebody to turn to. And I thought his appearance was very poor. When Nick Griffin's on a one-to-one interview with an interviewer, when he's asked a question and he can answer it and there's no interference, he's fantastic. But when he's up against top politicians, he can't do it. They rip him to pieces, and I think that's why we didn't appear on these other shows. He had a chance to appear with the other candidates in the Barking election. Margaret Hodge. Now we know Nick Griffin could rip her to pieces. Why was he not on that show? It's been proven in the past, when you've had a big heavyweight political leader, they never come back, and if they do, they never come back as strong. Even Churchill, he was elected for a second term, but he couldn't do anything, a big heavyweight never comes back. And like I say, it's just all the major parties have had a leader, and sometimes it's not their fault, but if they can't get the vote, things have to be changed.
In Nick Griffin's defence slightly, do you believe that the failings that you may be highlighting are not just down to Nick, but due to the people that are advising him and the people that are surrounding him who are on his right-hand side?
If he was given advice not to turn up on mainstream television or not to send anybody else to represent us, I think whoever gave that advice was bad advice. I also feel that I've worked very hard here in Markyate, and with Steve McCall and Eddie, there was a serving soldier in this constituency of Dacorum and Jan as well, called Stephen Shaler. He was willing to go on a BNP broadcast. I felt he could have been a big vote winner. He gave a speech here at a meeting. It was filmed. I think that could have really put the vote up in Dacorum. If it had been shown on BNP TV, we could have contacted the press. They could have seen that. I'm sure it would have been printed in the local Hemel Gazette.
Do you think the leadership of the British National Party showed any levels of disrespect to that soldier for actually removing that video, the people that had actually contributed to that video?
Without a doubt. And I'll tell you what else I found. The day after the election, people were distraught. People were in a bad way. We all were, let's face it. You shouldn't say defeatist things, but let's face it, it was a blow. The next day, the party chairman should have been there for the party. Where was he? Disappeared off the face of the earth. People needed something to turn to the very next morning. The other thing is, I've certain people in the party that have been going to certain meetings, I actually feel they've been bullied. I think they've been bullied at these meetings in a sort of mental way. Also, there's been accusations of private meetings in homes being recorded. Now, if you're going to record your own people and treat your own people like that, what's he going to do if he's elected as a Prime Minister?
With that in mind, what's the general consensus from the people that you speak to? Are they still donating to the party, or do they not have faith in the party anymore? And are they looking for something else?
We worry about what we think and what our membership thinks, but we need to worry what the voters think, because they're the people who are going to put us in power. And I have to say, I think, I'm not going to mention any names, and people will know who I'm talking about, but certain people in the party that have been elevated to certain positions, which is political suicide. It really is, because it's UAF or somebody will only put leaflets out at some stage exposing these people where they are, and that's a major concern of mine as well. And I'm going to be a bit of a big head here. I'm sure there's loads of people like myself. A lot of people in the BNP work hard for the BNP. I mean, I'm a councillor. It's not just being a councillor. People are coming to you all the time with problems. You're getting them solved. But there's no way to address. At the time, I didn't know how to get in touch with BNP TV. You get trees removed for people. You get things done. And I'm sure BNP do this for, like Steve and I are doing a lot of work with this Steve Shaler, perhaps going to organise a protest march. We've actually had to beg him not to hand his medals in. He wanted BNP TV to follow him to the council offices, and he was going to hand in his service medals. We talked him out of that, because that would have been a real shame, wouldn't it? But in the future, he would be quite happy for a protest from outside the council offices, handing in a written letter stating how disgusting it is that he can't get housed. Parade to the War Memorial, lay a wreath, and he said he could have brought people from his regiment and a lot of serving soldiers on this parade. That would be fantastic publicity for the party, because the way the party's being run at the moment, that's not going to get any publicity, is it? Yeah. That was absolutely, that looked stupid. Let's face it, it was ridiculous blunder.
It's not necessarily it being ridiculous, it's just the fact that it's illegal and it costs the party a lot of money.
I don't.
But there's only so much you can take, and there's only so much justification you can do before you say, hang on, why are these stupid mistakes and why are these stupid broadcasts and stupid publicity stunts being done all the time that just make us look ridiculous, and they make us look like amateurs.
We should be planning to hit those boards, should be working on them now, but where's the leadership?
Thank you ever so much, Simon, for joining us this evening, and I'm sure everyone appreciates what you've got to say, and I think a lot of people are also feeling the same way. So carry on with what you're doing an excellent job in Imperial Mark 8, and I'll say goodbye for this evening. Thank you very much.